Okay, so welcome to the 40th part of the game engine coding live stream, and we'll be doing the triangle class and potentially other shapes today. We're going to look into that. Part of it will be using the circle thing, because if you do a circle with 3 points, you get a triangle. If you do with 4 points, you'll get a square. If you do with 5 points, you'll get a pentagon, then hexagon, the septagon, octagon, nonagon, nectagon. Decagon is 10 point up, etc. etc. Herdinger says hello. You can MEC bot. You can ME6 bot do the announcements for live streams. I was looking for one. I couldn't find. Me and her were looking for one. Couldn't find one that was doing it. I found a couple. They didn't really do anything. If this does the job, man, this will be good. Because what I ideally want is the bot to be able to not just live streams, but all videos that I upload as well. And with the video upload one, it's fine to put in the announcement channel, but then some of them, like the live streams, would just for now just be in the announcement channel. Could potentially create a live stream channel later on. Might do that soon, might do that later on. But let's say if I create an Oculus Rift video, where we at? There we go. An Oculus Rift or Oculus Quest video, I want that in the announcement. That won't be live, most likely. That will just be like local. Then I would also want that in the VR and Oculus section. Definitely in Oculus, maybe in VR as well. So, but let's have a look at what this actually does. Let's have a quick look at the features. Custom commands. Welcome message and auto roll. Level and XP in your Discord server. Don't really care about that. Yeah, that's really what I'm looking for. What are the premium parts? Multiple Twitch channels at the moment, that's not a concern. Reward your members, potentially later on. Server rank card background. Multiple YouTube channels, again, not at the moment. Buy your leaderboard page. A nice banner of your choice. None of that actually is really enticing me at the moment. So let's have a look at regular Discord, authorize, see what we get. Select the server, there we go. Set up, yep, that's the one. Yep. Hopefully I'm trusting it to a right plugin. See what we get. How's it going, everyone? How's it going, Root? How's it going, Her? How's your day been? Custom command. That's the one we want. I'll keep this open. I've got to look into this a bit more, so I'll put that there, but I'll keep it open. That is something that we definitely need to look into. Okay, I feel like we could probably close some of this. I'll close that one. Those two will get closed. I'll be using them today. Doing all right. Good stuff. Okay. So looking at the triangle class, for the equilateral one, we just do a circle with 3 sides. That's pretty simple. So if we do like that, oh no, 3 is the radius, sorry. Keep it at 100, and we'll do circle set point count, and we'll put this at 3. This should, I'll leave the red on cyan, that don't really matter too much. This should render now a triangle. Render the triangle, which is great. Now, okay, if we did here 4, we will render a square. Okay. If we did here at a 5, it would be, you know, you just go up from there. Let's keep it there. Let's delete this for now. So, realistically, all these features are usable for the triangle. We could technically inherit all of this, potentially, because this, otherwise there's a lot of duplication. Bear with me. I'll have a look at something and see SFML. Transformable. Doesn't inherit from anything, but a bunch of stuff inherit this. And positive stuff like the circle shape does. No, that inherits the shape. It's a square, all right. You can't, because the triangle has no radius. I mean, technically a triangle has no radius, but the way obviously you renders it in SFML, it would just be the radius will be from one point to the center. Yeah. That's just the 142 error, which will be fixed next time I run it. But you get it here. Public transformable. I'm trying to think. We're doing our, are we doing our duplication code or not? Let me think. Maybe we aren't. Again, you know, we send abstraction layer on top of SFML, not SFML. So transformable. It's fine. Okay, so let me have a look. Can I? Inherit public method and make it project. Can I do that? But setting the radius of a triangle seems strange. First, you would have to calculate the 3 points from the center. That only works with triangles where the side. Yeah, so like that's what we're doing now with creating a triangle class, where us as the developer using this engine wouldn't set a radius for the triangle. We would set some other parameter, you know, like side length potentially. And assuming this is just an equilateral triangle, we're looking to probably be into convex shapes to do 3 random points which will form any sort of triangle. But assuming an equilateral triangle, you know, then that will process, let's say if we do a side of 5, we'll do some maths on it to figure out, okay, if the side is 5, then the radius based on that has to be this, and you know, it'll be that. So yeah, when we actually implement the triangle class, it won't actually say set radius. That's the reason I'm looking at turning a public method into private. So if I could inherit everything from the circle class, make private the stuff that we don't want of the circle, which is mainly the radius stuff, then we're pretty golden. Can we just do that, for example? Using base colon bar. You can use public inheritance and then make bar private. You can use private inheritance and make foo public. Okay. Never seen this sort of code before. Let's have a look. Okay, so we're gonna create a triangle class. Let's get rid of that. What the hell, bro? That looks dodgy. This happens when I'm resizing the zoom and that for videos. So what I'm saying, use a circle class to draw a triangle, only it works with equal. Yes, it only works with equilateral triangles, I know. Are you suggesting not to use a circle class at all, use the convex, then if they want an equilateral triangle, that's a feature that I want, that you don't have to, you just say equilateral triangle, and the position, instead of setting the three sides, that he just does it like that? Let me create the triangle class and then I'll look into the convex shape stuff. Triangle class. Good. Hugia. Hey go, yeah. Here you go. Atik Rahman says that. I don't quite get what he's saying, but hello, Atik. Wow. Documents. GitHub. Project XYZ code. Triangle. Okay, fair enough. Might be worth just doing it like that. And let me just add this while I'm here. Cool stuff. A good Hogia. Yeah, I can see it now. Thank you, Atik. Okay, so did I just add that? I did the HPP. Did I add the? Yes, I did. Okay, so first of all, let's put this over here, and let's get rid of this bright stuff. I will get rid of player. RST. The only situation when you could use a circle class to draw a triangle is when the triangle is equilateral, and when is that the case? I don't know, like, you might want to. Again, I want drawing meshes. Again, it's less for drawing meshes in the context of drawing out an object, like loading some object. More if you just want to draw it on there. This is just a feature I want in there, because there's a game idea I had a few years ago, which I wouldn't mind popping up into this engine when we get to like 6 months or 12 months or whenever. That did require shapes. It is actually called shapes. It required circles, squares, and triangles, equilateral ones. So there definitely was that use case. Again, and then the other thing is, how far do we go with this? Because how many shapes do we do? Do we do a triangle class? Do we do we got a rectangle class? Do we do a hexagon class? I mean, a pentagon class, a hexagon class, septagon class, octagon class, etc., etc. Where do we stop? Do we start octagon, decagon? Like, it goes very, I don't know how high it actually goes. The classification probably go very high, but like, where would we actually just stop with it? That's the question. Like, triangle, I think, is definitely very crucial. The other ones, do we just say use a circle class, because essentially it's looking more like a circle beyond the square anyway, and either that or we'll create a convex shape one. Okay, you think that's all we need? Because I guess circle would do all the other stuff. That's fine. Again, the whole point of the engine is create something. We can come back to it if we feel like we need extra features, which currently we may not. Okay, so we're gonna do triangle, and do triangle, triangle, circle, placing it with triangle, place all, boom, done. We don't need a radius, don't need a point count, we need a position, potentially need the border color and the border thickness, don't want triangle shape. Oh yeah, no, that's going to be a triangle. That's going to give us an error. I know why that's giving us an error, because that don't exist. Even a rectangle can be constructed internally using triangles. True, yeah, you can. Just a couple of right-angled triangles you could do. Okay, so let's replace all instances of circle with triangle. Done. Okay, so we're gonna get a few. Don't want radius, don't want that. Set size. Ooh. Set size one is very interesting. This is going to be width and height. We're going to have to figure out how to calculate this. Float. Copy that bad boy. Whack it over here. Nope, we don't need these. Figure this out, and we're gonna put that there. On the bright side, we can replace this with width and height. So technically, this method is done now. Okay. Okay, so why are you taking your primitive types like float by const to references? So the reason we are doing that is by taking it as a reference, it's less overhead, but that has the potential to take it as a reference by the original variable if it's passed in by a variable. If we do it as a const reference, it means it's less overhead, but it doesn't change the original variable if we pass in a variable. So it's less overhead without the potential dangers of passing by reference. I only learned this sort of technique relatively recently, over the last few months, when I was looking into the game engine stuff, and I was like, why are they doing that? And as from out, then looked into it. There's another thing that you can do is if you're returning something, you can do like a const reference like this. I was doing this, then I started getting issues with it, and I think I figured it out that you ideally want to do that if you are literally returning a variable, not some other, let's say, methods return value. I think so. I think that might be what was causing it. Did you measure the benefit? Honestly, I haven't measured the benefit myself, but because it's such an easy implementation, I was like, yo, let's do it. Okay, so convex shape. Let's have a look at that. Here we go. So we do a dot set point, so we do a set point count. So it's a convex shape. Are we going to do a line? Probably could do we have anti-aliasing and that sort of stuff in the engine? I feel like we don't. Sona H, we need the game plus anti-aliasing and other graphic settings, I guess, are whacked on the list. I'll mark it down here. Anti-aliasing and other settings for SFML. Okay, so now we've done that, let's go over to triangle. Okay, this was going to be a convex shape underscore shape. That's good. Let's see what errors we potentially get as a result of this. We can set. Okay, everything seems to be good so far. I'm going to give us a build. Obviously, you know, we're not done by a long shot. This ain't going to work. Obviously, we need to get rid of radius there. But builds. Okay, that's good stuff. Let's get rid of this. So what we would need to do is say underscore shape dot set point count is free. I think it depends on the data type. Taking anything by reference surely prevents copying values, making them constant, more or less just everything to make sure your function doesn't. Okay, cool. Sinan Ermi says hello. Hello Sinan or Sinan, how are you today? Sounding a bit like Ben then. How are you today? Okay, so set point count and set points. So we just need to pass in 3 sets of points. Let me copy and paste this bad boy. So we're gonna have a constructor. So we're gonna do underscore shape Can I just do a square selection on here? There we go. Obviously we're not going to have that. Okay, so we could either pass it in as like an array of vec2s, or just 3 vec2s, like 0.1. It's only 3 of them. Yeah, that'll be fine. Her says copying. How is your work going? Work's going well. Change the value stored in the memory your reference is pointing to. Copying an int or a float won't do harm for sure, but copying a whole string and constructing it will surely have some overhead. Yeah, so you know the const reference stuff does help with that sort of stuff. Thanks for helping out her. GLM vec2 vec2 0.1. 0.2, 0.3. Copy that bad boy. What happened there? Copy that. Get rid of that. Yeah, I'll sort that out in a second. So we can say int1 dot x dot y. Copy that and change this to okay. Don't need to figure out the set size stuff. Okay, so the set size stuff. Okay, so let me open up our trusty Paint again. Where is cheeky Alicia? Well, Munna is actually on FaceTime with Alicia, so that's where she is. Munna's just upstairs FaceTime in with Alicia. She's super cheeky. And yeah. Munna should be watching the stream, so do you want to say hi to her and let him know what Alicia is up to? Okay, so if I draw, let me get my trusty tablet out. Move some of this stuff over here. 1 second, I'm just plugging in my tablet. Hi, which is good to start career, Laravel or WordPress? Can you give any idea on this? I mean, Laravel would get you in a better position than I'm looking over there because that's what the text is, than WordPress. WordPress probably, I don't think it's even that much easier, to be fair. I think if the question is, are you a half decent coder? Have you been doing coding for a decent amount of time? Again, I'm not saying are you any good. Actually, that is what I'm asking, but I'm not like trying to put you down. But I find a lot of people will ask these questions and they've hardly done any coding before, if at all. They've heard about these technologies and they're like, yeah, I want to do this. It's like, spend a year, 2 years, 3 years learning to code. Not knowing this stuff, like going at it for the first time, is like a fat person that's never done any exercise trying to run a marathon. Some stuff is like running an ultra marathon, and it's like they ain't gonna work. With training, yeah, the fat person can get there. Okay, so what is it? Rockin', that song. Is it the cable that's rocking it? Something at the back. Shouldn't be. Unless this table just warped. I don't know. Okay, so if let's say we have, let's say if we have this grid. Let's say we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. -1, -2, -3. Okay, so the order of the points does not necessarily dictate the. Let me actually have a look a second. Clockwise or counterclockwise order. Okay, so Paul says "As welcome, Paul. Welcome. Good to see you back." I do have an ass indeed. Okay, so let's say if we put a point over, say the first one's over here, that's P1. So if we get one over here, that's P2. And let's say if we get one over here, that's P3. So here we are at -1, 1. Press the button, didn't want to do that. And here we are at 3, -2. Let me do that bad boy. -2. And up here we are at 4, 3. Okay. So let me make a list of the equivalents right here. So -1, 1. Negative. It's a sort of try and eyeball this. Now I'm going to do it with a different color. Okay, so if I do it with a green, cable isn't very long. I can't do crazy rotations with this tablet. This is my drawing skills at work. Okay, there we go. So the actual size of the thing is basically the bounding box. Okay, so that's what we've got as the size. Second. Bear with me. Pretty insane to be fair, that is. I'm just trying to get hold of something. Trying to buy something. I'm just struggling with the website. Let me just turn off Amazon. Put it back on. Just work? Was I able to add that to the basket? Don't seem to be able to add this to the basket. Don't seem to be working, bro. Where's the center of the bounding box? So center, in this instance, would be 1, so it's round about, so it's here, the height is from -2 to 3, so it's there. So it would be 1.5, 0.5. That's where it would be in this instance. That's not the center of the triangle. Now, I think we can do much better than that. Yeah, actually, all we need is, if we have the 3 points, which we will, 4 and 3, 4 and 3, 3 and -2, 3 and -2. If we have the largest, if we have the smallest x, x min equals -1, x max equals 4, y min equals -2, y max equals 3. This should, in my eyes, correlate with the bounding box. -1, 4, -2, 3. There we go, we're done. It is definitely. Why is today's lesson her? Would you like to, and hello, bank. I keep looking over there because that's where the laptop with the comments is. I've just freed up this space for some drawing with this. Much better than using the mouse. Okay, so yeah, that's all we need. And that's pretty simple. We'll go over the 3 points. We'll figure out what the x min, y min, x max, and y max. Simples. Okay, so let's do that. Yeah, basic triangle geometry. Okay, so let me unplug this. Actually, ooh, sorry about that. You wasn't able to actually fully. You wasn't able to fully see it. I do apologize for that. Need to remember that this tablet that I have, this Huion tablet, is 1080p, and my screen was technically 3440 by 1440, but I whack it down to 2440 by 1440 for my videos. I know most people, except for like a gameplay video, most people won't have it, and this bumps it down to 1080. Then I should need to resize it in OBS. That is simple for the bounding box, but that has nothing to do with the center of the side of the triangle. Why do we need the center of the triangle? The size thing is for the bounding box. That's what that set size thing is. We need that set size for the box around it. That will help us. I mean, for the most part, determine if it's off screen or not off screen. There'll be a few variances where, like, it's one corner might be. Your work, it may not be 100% efficient. I'll say it's probably like 98.5% efficient. Not done any calculation. There's just some random made up number, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty high in terms of the efficiency. Your trick teacher. Well, we didn't have a trick teacher. We just had a maths teacher. I'm guessing. Come on, where did they say you was from again, Bank? Did they say America? Did you say Eastern time or the Pacific time? Can't remember. My bad for not remembering. Okay, so the set size, we are literally. Ooh, to rotate the triangle. Do we have rotation built in? Let me have a look. Shape dot. There is rotation. Why did we never implement any of that? We never implemented rotation. That was a good pointer. We've never implemented rotation at all. I'm going to put that on the to-do list. Rotation, implement into the following keeping track of things. Sprite, circle, rectangle, and triangle. Okay, so yeah, that was good. That was a good suggestion. It was less of a suggestion, more of an observation of where this might go wrong, but we don't even have that feature in there, but we do need it in there. So good stuff, good stuff. Okay, so let's implement what we was doing, which was a set size. So instead of in the width and the height, we need to take in, we basically need to take this in. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Ooh, we need to change this in here. 0.1. Vertex 1 of the triangle, and I'll duplicate this. That don't seem to be working. I'll just do it this way. Okay, so I will copy this. I will put it here. Get rid of this. Put that one there. There we go. 0.123. Copy that bad boy. And where is step size? Paste it here. And now what we need to do, that's what's going to be calculated, and we're going to say, well, we're figuring it out right now. We also need methods for the following, and they are set points, get points. Set the points and get the points. Okay, so set size is coding difficult. Yeah, I'll say it's above average in terms of difficulty of the things you can do. Like anything in life, if you want to get good at something, there's going to be difficulties, and you know, people talk. Okay, her has a different opinion to me. I think it is difficult, obviously, understanding it, but really getting into it and actually doing something useful with it, whether that's career-wise or creating something yourself. I think that takes a bit of, you know, knowledge, and it is difficult to get to that point. I think you can get to a level where you seem good, but to really do something with it, or really get a role that you can really, you know, make some money in, takes a bit of time. Not always. If you go crazy hard on studying, then you can be done. I've seen people doing a year or two, even less. But you know, they went crazy on studying. They didn't do the degree, but they just did it themselves. And the best way is to do it if you do it academically and to do it in your own time. Because if you just do it academically, like I saw the people do it when I was doing it, they weren't that good if they didn't practice it at home. But it's the same with anything. If you're playing a musical instrument and let's say you're on some music course, if you're just doing whatever you're doing there instead of coming home and let's say playing a guitar, playing the piano, whatever it is, or even doing multiple ones, broadening your horizons and even non-music based stuff, so you get this sort of knowledge base that you can all apply to it, then you're not going to be that good. Her's right. Just start small. I think the mistake that a lot of people make is that they think, okay, I want to do this and I want a job in a week or a month. And what you want to say is, okay, I want a career in this, but let me just learn it over the next 6 months. Let me just do it. Let me see how it goes. Let me figure out a few different coding languages. Do I want to do web? Do I want to do, web game development? Do I want to do high level game development in engines like Unity, Unreal, or really low level like OpenGL stuff, or kind of lower to mid level, which is what we're doing. It's not fully low level, but it's not sort of mid level either. So we are still creating an engine, and obviously this requires a bit of maths, a bit of computer science knowledge, and it's not enough to say, I'll just learn that particular maths skill when I need it, because sometimes you don't know that you need it. Sometimes you'll be doing it and be like, that maths skill that I learned 10 years ago, I can apply it now. That's what happens with me. True, if you've been coding that long, again, that's the other thing. Time helps. Okay, so what we're going to say is float width and height. So we are going to say boom, boom, de boom, 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 boom. Float min, x min, x max, float y min, y max, yeah, I think the problem with time frames is, obviously you don't want to say, I'm going to have a 3-year time frame for something that you could easily do in a month. But likewise, you don't want to say, okay, in 3 months, I want this role, we have to do this, but realistically it's going to take 9 months, or if it's going to maybe take 4 or 5 months, a little bit longer, but that's if you can do it fully commit to it. But then 2 months down the line, something family related happens, something personal happens, or you sort of drift personally, that happens as well when you're embarking on something creative, something new. So you got to factor those things in as well. Yeah, see, that's the problem. I see with a lot of people here is that they'll see somebody else doing it, they'll think it's easy, or they'll see somebody else and made a bunch of money doing this, and they're like, and there's still, I find this notion in a lot of people that if it's not conventional and it's more tech related, it must be easy. They're like, oh, it's click-clack, done. If it's not conventional, whatever it is, therefore it's easy. They'd be like, you learn a bit of coding, boom, 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 you're done. And even if you get to the level to get the skills to create this app that everyone, has in them, this idea, but nobody ever wants to, spend a year learning the skills, or if it's that good, pay, a development agency 5, 10, 15, 20 grand potentially to create it for them. They don't even want to spend 10 minutes Googling it and make a few points for half an hour. They don't want to do that, but the idea is that amazing. Is, where was I going with this? Going on a tangent here. Yeah, even if you get to the level that you can create it, doesn't mean it's still going to be that good. That's the reason you've got to do it for the love of the coding side. Okay, so point x min equals point equals 0.1 dot x equals 0.1 dot y dot x equals 0.1 dot y equals 0.1 dot y. If 0.2 dot x is less than 0.1 dot x, no, x min, then we're going to say x min equals 0.2 dot x. We're going to say else if .2 is greater than x max. This is assuming you are setting different points and you're doing it properly. If not, then it ain't gonna work. Blah blah blah. Max. Let me handle the y, the 0.3 now. And let me handle the y's. So y, 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 y. Just checking I've got the right x's and y's. Still bound to mess this up. Then I'll have to go back. Okay, so that should be all good now. And now that we've got the y min, the y max, blah 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 blah. Okay, so the width should be, I'll declare that afterwards. I'll do the calculation inline. So it equals x min, not x max, minus x min. That should be fine for the height. .1, .2, .3. Don't know what happened there. Okay, so now that we got this, I think we're ready to test. Let me just do a quick build, no errors. We'll whack in the splash state and we'll test it. Something I want to check in here. Why 0, 0 there? Well, not up here. And I'm also going to say with the clockwise or counter. You counter dash clockwise or you counter space clockwise. Just one word apparently. Counterclockwise, counterclockwise order. Okay, so I want to go into the circle class and with the radius of the circle. Yeah, there's bound to be stuff like comments and whatnot. That's a bit outdated. Why does that say circle? Why is it highlighting circle? Okay, triangle. And I think we are ready to give this a little test. So if we go over to splash state, and if I go splash state CPP, I'll comment this out for now. Should not need this anymore. Okay, so triangle, triangle, triangle. I need to actually construct it. Triangle equals, or initialize it, new triangle underscore data. And to do the vec, can I do it like that? I cannot remember. 0, 0. Let's see if we go 100 along and 200 down. Then let's see if we go back 50 along and 200 down. And that should work, I'd say. Okay, so I don't know. Let's see. Don't think we need this. Triangle. Draw. Let's give this bad boy a whirl. See what we get. Yep, drawing a triangle. Okay. I want to try something now. Triangle set position 200 by 200. Okay. That is fine. That is fine in DDD. Okay. That works well. Should be able to set a color. Should be able to do triangle. Set inside color to, let's say, color, column, red. Let's do that. Let's give this a run. We should get a red triangle now. And that is it. There we go. I just need to make a quick phone call. I'm just going to put it on mute. So I'm muted before I start talking. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap up for today. I've got a few things to do after this. We did the live stream at a decent time today. Got a good hour into it. We'll do it a good time tomorrow as well. So we're not done. Not done yet. So that is the reason. That is the reason we are gonna rename this part 1. Part 1, like so. And we're also gonna put part 1, part 2, 41. Just keeping track of the live streams. I don't like it when it does this. For some reason it selects multiple, so I want to the right. Optional sub name. I'll be meaning to do this. I'll be like, oh, so saying, yeah, I'll do it, but didn't do it. I'll do it now. Okie dokie. So here we go. Instead of description, we are gonna say close quotation, comma, C2. It's meant to be a comma. Boom, there we go. That's tomorrow's live stream already there. And yes, going to wrap up now. Let's do a commit. And we're going to say triangle that's working but not complete. Do any drop frames? No drop frames, being good. Remember to turn my downloads off, because if I don't, it get issues, especially if I'm uploading. Okay, here we go. Okay, so that is now done, and we'll be continuing tomorrow. Let me open up the notes file again. What I need to do is go to, did I even change it? Yeah, I did. So if I go to notes to do, and I'm gonna pin this bad boy. Okay, so tomorrow we're gonna finish off. Yeah, fine. If we build it, shouldn't have an issue. Yes, we'll finish off the triangle class, and in that, need to implement something for equilaterals. I would like that ideally. Something I would like. So there's a flag that you can say, and you'll just draw an equilateral based on some size that you put. Let's say flag, and you draw based on side length. Something along those lines. Okay, so here we go. So we get set size. We need to implement the set and get points. And that's it really. That'll be the triangle stuff done. That'll be the shape stuff done as well. Oh yeah, we need to go on to rotation. Hopefully this shouldn't take too long. Rotation stuff should be 10-15 minutes. Then we'll be on to physics. So hopefully by Sunday we should be looking at pixel perfect collision in physics. So slowly getting through this, and yeah, slowly getting through it. Fluid box 2D might not even be game related. Maybe in the engine potentially. We'll see. Okay, so I want to thank everyone for watching. I'm going to be having some food soon with my wife and just chilling out, do some other work as well. Thanks for watching. See you soon. I'm going to try and bang out another live stream later on today, which will be the gameplay live stream for Spider-Man. Have not done that today. Would like to do, even if it's half an hour, to just make sure I keep that routine up. And yeah, I'll see you all very, very soon.